Chicken Brown Cow.
Welcome back to the Brown Chicken Brown Cow Show. I'm here with Monkey, or as he might remember he's called, That Guy.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you were watching in the previous episodes, you heard things like do the monkey, pull the monkey,
Pull the monkey.
pull a monkey. So I don't know where this is coming from. I leave the set for 5 seconds, and
I mean, really, running bits is like half the show.
I know.
But I have exciting news, because we're talking about sex work today, right?
We are.
So, we have a wonderful human being here. Auntie Vice, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Oh, there's people.
Yeah. And among Auntie Vice's many, many talents, they have also written and directed porn.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about writing and directing porn.
So I started writing just porn for people to read, and by total accident. When I put out my first non-academic nonfiction work about kink, some of the feedback I got from beta readers is, well, people want to know what this really looks like. Can you do a chapter describing a scene? So I did, and it was my most popular chapter. And it was awesome. I ended up having a DJ down in the South ended up reading the whole thing, but it's Morgan Freeman. So it was Morgan Freeman catching a dick as a sub, which was amazing.
That gives me so much strength.
And I ended up picking up porn writing from there, and I watch a lot of porn, so I'm like, okay, I want to shoot one. Like, it sounds fun. Who doesn't? I had done my own home movies, but and they have the Hump Festival, which is competitive porn,
yes.
and I thought, okay, they have a comedy chapter, or comedy section, and I had done a poem called FDA Approved about how getting good dick is more powerful than some drugs, and a lot of the warnings they put on medication applies to good dick. Swallow whole, don't break, crush, or chew.
Oh.
Take exactly as directed.
Well.
Not tested on animals.
Ah.
Don't take, more than one without consultation. These are all very applicable to dick. And so I ended up shooting it as a drug commercial.
Okay.
Right? And so I had a ton of fun with it. When I was putting it together, I wanted it to represent people and stuff that you don't normally see in a lot of porn. I wanted it to be interracial, but I chose a black woman and a white guy, because normally interracial porn is a white chick getting boned out by a black guy. And I wanted people who didn't fit the typical porn stereotype. Because I'm big on body positive and loving yourself, but one of the things that can be hard is you can tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm comfortable with myself, but if you never see yourself in porn, it's hard to say, yes, I feel really fuckable, right? And so I chose people who violated more than one beauty standard, right? The guy was, pretty average sized penis, and mutton chops, white guy. The woman was a heavyset black woman with a lot of tattoos, and they were incredibly sexy on film together. And then you have this great voiceover, and it ends up in the Land Park golf course with them holding hands and swinging around about, with all the side effects that can come, weakness in the arms and legs, temporary Tourette syndrome, all of those things.
Wow.
Oh.
So, and then it kind of took off from there.
I've got to know. So, how did you find these people to act in these parts?
So,
I assume that's not an easy process.
One of them was a friend of mine, and I knew she had been on Real Sex.
Okay.
So I had approached her, and the funny thing was, I said, okay, well, I want you to choose who you're, I don't want to, pick some random dude for you to sleep with, right? And she came back, she says, I don't really have any friends I can think of who would do this on screen. So I put an advertisement up on FetLife, and she kind of told me the type of guy she was attracted in. So I started corresponding with one of them, and he said, well, who's the actress? And I gave him her name, and he's like, oh my God, we used to date. I've been meaning to call her since I've been back in town. So they reunited after not seeing each other for a couple of years as we shot porn.
So it just fell together at that point for you.
It did. And then,
Wow.
yeah, and I think good sex is funny. And what you do in bed can be hysterical, and I say really inappropriate things when I'm in bed with people. So I think humor needs to be worked into porn, right? And so I've been talking to a friend of mine, and she's 5 feet tall, but she's a dom. And so we've been going back and forth. We need to do Adventures of a Tiny Dom, and the problems that it comes with being a tiny dom. where like you have to use a reacher grabber to pull somebody's hair. And
We're talking a small person.
yes. Right? You have to blindfold your subs so they don't have to see you jump up onto the big bed. Stop.
So when does this come out, and how do I see it?
We've been kind of figuring out who she's gonna do this with, but it's like we have like 4 episodes sketched out. We're like, this could be like a running thing. Like we want to do one where nobody takes her seriously because they think she's so cute, so she has to make her subs make her a resting bitch face mask.
Oh no.
You know, you have a slave that just follows around and works as your personal step stool, so you can reach things.
This is too much.
So, for our listeners who don't know, I'm asexual and haven't watched a lot of porn. This sounds bizarre and wonderful in the same
I
breath.
love bizarre porn, and like, it was not a world I had spent a lot of like bizarre porn not before I started writing it.
Yeah.
But then I was hired to write this series. It was like a 3-part series of this shapeshifter porn, and so for me, like, the whole idea of fucking a werewolf or a werebear is strange. But then I created the app where they meet called Shifter, like Tinder or Grindr, but it's like the Wonder Twins is your thing, and you go through, and you know, there's all sorts of kidnapping. And then of course my Google search got all messed up because I'll do political work and stuff, and so it'll be like address for Senate Judiciary Committee, and then it's like, what does a lion penis look like? Because I want to work in some reality. Like, if they ever go through my cookies, they're just not even going to know what the hell I was trying to do.
Oh, jeez.
So, I guess my big question is, because you have all these wonderful ideas in your head, what's the biggest challenge of shooting porn?
Finding men to be in it.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
Yeah, there's a small set of men who are happy to be on film, but like I shot a series of erotic photos for Celebrating Your Kink.
Yeah.
And I could find a ton of female models who were fine being photographed and everything. Finding men who want to be in them and who are comfortable with the way they look was a lot harder. Like, women have gotten much more of the body positive stuff.
Yeah.
But finding a guy who doesn't have like a 9-inch dick and ripped abs wanting to be on film and stuff, there's not a lot of men who are very comfortable with that.
And that's so funny, because in high school, that was like the thing, oh yeah, get into porn, have all sex with the women's and such.
Wait. The women's?
Let's just move on, it's not important. Well, that's the stereotype for
Right.
men and boys, is that they just like would be all about it.
Well, and finding men who can perform on film is hard. It's a lot harder for a guy, like, especially if you don't have fluffers and everything offset. It's like, okay, I need you to hold this hard on for like the next 5 minutes while we shoot, and I'm gonna have this woman step on your dick.
Oh. Sorry.
Which is one of my favorite shots I have.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, you get somebody right up in your junk with a big camera lens. I think we've killed my favorite. So
Not his kink, that's okay.
Right,
It
right.
doesn't have to be your kink.
Right, but that can be, for a man, I think it really ends up being a lot more intimidating. Because they don't have the same body positive, especially, you know, so much is around dick size. Like, guys are like, they'd write me and they're like, well, I'm kind of interested, but I only have a 7-inch dick. I'm like, that's really okay. Like, I think my actress is fine with that, you know?
We just lost the audience now, too. You've broken the host and the audience. Oh, jeez. And we haven't even gotten to your story yet that's coming up.
Right.
So, well, yeah, so the challenges are the struggle is real. And I see what you mean by men having not come to terms with the audience is still broken. Men not having the body positive turn that women have been able to experience. So.
Well, it was interesting when I was shooting the first one. I actually didn't think the guy because he hadn't shot porn before, would be able to come on film, right? Because it takes a lot for a lot of guys to get there. So, you know, I had the list of shots I wanted. I'm like, okay, I kind of need this and I kind of need that. We get towards the end, and he's getting ready to come, and he's talking to the actress. He's like, oh, where do you want me to blow? And then she looks at me, and it's one of the best outtakes, and she's like, well. And it's like, direction, please. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do have to tell you where to put your load. Okay. I was like, it's one of those. It's like, oh yeah, I should have thought that through. Well, congratulations for getting there. Like.
All right. I'm gonna take a breath and shift gears. What have you been up to since last we saw you?
No, I've been dealing with some health issues, so that's slowed down on production and stuff. I do have a cookbook coming out in April of all things. Like of all random things. But being a service sub and liking to entertain, I put an entertainment and cookbook.
And what is the name of this cooking tome?
Eat good, drink good, live good.
Nice.
Yes, so that'll be out. And then I was recently nominated for the Golden Flogger Award for the big workbook for submissives.
Get them, yeah.
Yeah, so doing that.
So the cooking book, is that from the perspective of being a service sub, or is it just...
No, it's just what I've learned.
Okay.
So it's all the tips and tools for hosting. And I actually went, the thing that most home chefs have a hard time is like, how do you put a menu together? How do you time it? Like if these are the 6 things you're going to cook and you have a regular size home kitchen, like how do you get Thanksgiving out on time, everything at the right temperature, ready to go with your little tiny oven? Like, and it's all stuff like, so here's the recipes, but here's, you start this at 3 hours before, you start this at 30 minutes before, and all that.
Gotcha. Wow. So you want to your videos, the movies. Where can we find them?
I've got FDA approved.
Oh.
Is up on, which is what it's called.
Okay. We never got there. Or did we?
FDA approved is up on my website, which is loveletterstoaunicorn.com.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll get around to shooting Adventures of a Tiny Dom. We just need 2 little min pins to sit next to her throne and she can pet a kitten to start.
Well, if you need a step stool, please call me.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and breaking our audience and both of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, Auntie Vice, seriously though, thank you.
It's great to be back. I love being on the show, and congratulations on how well it's doing. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you. We're working hard. Speaking of doing well, for those of you out there who don't know, Brown Chicken Brown Cow is now a 501c3 corporation. So if you want to send us money, want to support the show, want to get a tax write-off, this is the place to do it because we're trying to make it better, make it more awesome. And the madam just shook her head, I guess. Also, you want to subscribe to this video. Do you want to do the button again?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The button will be right here, and it'll be in the shape of a crown.
A crown. Just to let you know, that's a challenge to the professor, so that he can.
They told me that I could prompt graphics, and I will.
Just for that, you're getting a chicken butt above your head.
It's just a chicken.
Don't you switch it. It's a crown with a chicken butt behind it.
Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to all of our podcasts. If you're still trying to catch up, go back to the previous episodes because there's some great information in Sex Month, Sex Workers Month, and we're doing some great stuff. And we have more coming up next week. But guess what? You can't see it right now, but maybe depending on when you log in and watch this, you can watch Auntie Vice do a piece that you did from Body Storytelling not too long ago. Yep. And you're going to share it with us. It's a segment that we're calling Tales of the Naughty Barnyard.